Hello dear student, next I'm going to discuss about application of bioinformatics. There are a lot of applications of bioinformatics. We already discussed in previous video some other applications. In further we discuss in this section. First, prediction of protein structure. We can predict protein structure by using bioinformatics. It is easy to determine the primary structure of proteins in the form of amino acids which are present on the DNA molecule. But it is difficult to determine the secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure. We can determine the primary structure but difficult to determine the secondary, tertiary and quaternary structures of proteins. So, tools of bioinformatics can be used to determine the complex proteins structure. I already discussed there are a lot of tools, so we can use the tools by determining the complex structures. Next, genome annotation, which means genomes are marked to know the regulatory sequence and protein coding. It is very important part of the Human Genome Project. It is determine the regulatory sequence. It also determine the regulatory sequence, that is genome annotations. Two things are basically involved: the regulatory sequence and protein codings. So that is genome annotation. Next, comparative genomics. Comparative means the comparison of two things, comparison two or more things. So, comparative genome is a branch of bioinformatics which determines the genomic structure and function relation between different biological species. So, I already discussed the comparative is basically the differences, relations. For this purpose, intergenomic maps are constructed. Inter is basically relationship of genome structure. So, we build intergenomic maps which enable the scientists to trace the process of evolution. We can trace the evolutionary process that occur in genomes of different species. So, so that occur in different species. Next, fourth one, health and drug discovery. The tools of bioinformatics also help in drug discovery. We can discover drug by using bioinformatics. Also, we can diagnose and disease management. Complete sequencing of human genes are enable the scientists. Complete sequencing of gene has enabled the scientists to make medicines and drugs which can target more than 500 genes. That is the health and drug discovery. So the bioinformatics very helpful in drug discovery. So next, preventative medicines. Preventative medicines are those medicines that prevent the disease. Gene identification by sequence inspections and prediction of splices sites allow mutations to be corrected easily. So we can first identify the mutation, then after identification we can correct it. This is much used in the analysis of mutations that cause cancer. So this phenomena is very helpful in cancer patient. Next, gene therapy. Gene therapy is basically the replacement of defective genes that are not healthy. So we can replace into healthy one. We can change the DNA of some organism that are not good. So we can introduce another gene that are good. Can we treat the disease in a person? That phenomena is called gene therapy. Gene therapy is basically a mutations are easily detected and quantified through next generation sequencing technology in a heterogeneous samples. heterogeneous sample or different compound samples. That's a cost-effective precision medicine. Right drug at right dose at the right patient at the right time can be administered. The rule is that right drug, right dose, and right patient and right time. That is the gene therapy. So there are some other applications of bioinformatics in which waste cleanup. We can clean the waste by using bioinformatic microbial genome applications, and there are small organism genome. We can use the application of it, and antibiotic resistant. We can resist using antibiotic alternative energy sources. We can build another energy sources by using bioinformatic crop improvement and development of resistant variant. We can improve the crop and get high yield. Forensic analysis, we can use it in lab and to find out the crime. Bioweapons creation, we can create bioweapons that use for living organism. Insect resistant, we can resist insect and we can kill the insects. Sequence analysis, we can make the sequence by using bioinformatics. Literature analysis, that all about the bioinformatics.